John Cullen, I'm at Maynooth University School of Business, and I'm talking to Noel McGrath who is Head of Investor Services at Centaur Fund Services. Morning, Noel.
Morning, John. Great to get the chance to talk to you again.
Thanks for speaking with me again. First of all, I suppose just in terms of our students, could you tell us a bit about Centaur, what it is, where you are, and your connections with Maynooth?
Yeah, of course, John. Yeah, well, Centaur Fund Services are a fund administration company, so a financial services company on a more macro level. We are a privately owned Irish company, which makes us very unique in our space. Our competitors are large multinationals, big financial institutions like State Street, Citibank, Citco, companies of that size, whereas we are privately owned. We were founded in 2009. We started off with 6 employees in 2009, and today we have 135 employees. We have, I think, 7 offices now globally. From the last time I spoke to you, we have opened new offices in New Jersey, Luxembourg, and probably most. So we're primarily our staff are here in Dublin. And we also have offices in Cayman and Bermuda as well. So it's been a period of growth, obviously from 6 to 135 or whatever it is. But our core business is fund administration. So typically our clients would be Cayman or Bermuda domiciled funds, investment funds, otherwise known as hedge funds, which have a mixed reputation over the years. But we would provide full service on these funds. So our core services are fund accounting, my own area, investor services. We provide corporate services, regulatory services. So we would do a full scope of services for our clients. So we are quite unusual, I suppose. Our clients are based in London, and that is growing though as our footprint grows. The footprint of our clients are growing. So we have, as well as clients in London, we have clients in Bermuda, the US, Asia, and we have just won a piece of business in Australia, which is very exciting news. But we'll present quite a challenge operationally because of the time difference, but it's something we're looking forward to. So that's a very quick run through of what we do. I'd imagine a lot of your students, John, aren't probably aware of what fund administration is. So I'd encourage them to maybe do a bit of research on the Irish funds industry. There's approximately, I think, 40,000 people work in this industry. So for the students, the undergrads at the School of Business in Maynooth, there's a heavy chance that industry, whether it's as a fund administration like ourselves, or whether it's through audit or working for investment managers or whatever it is, it's a large industry that has, we think, great opportunities.
You recruited a lot of our business graduates from Maynooth over the years, and recently set up the office. How's the office in Maynooth going?
Yeah, no, we I think, John, we're big fans of the School of Business in Maynooth. We started off. Not historically, I suppose, in the beginning, we were too small to hire graduates. When you're 6 people, and 20 people and 30 people and 40 people, you probably don't have the infrastructure to go directly to the talent as they graduate. So we would typically have hired people with 2 to 3 years experience. In 2015, we decided, okay, we don't want to do this anymore. We want to go straight to the talent, and I would have obviously an attachment to Maynooth, which I suppose I'll discuss later. But even aside from that, from the people we were meeting when we were in the colleges, so I, in 2015 and 2016, would have had a stand out in Maynooth, in front of the reading room there in the arts block, and just engaging with the students as they came past, and we, in 2016, sort of dipped our toe into the recruitment market of graduates. We hired 6, 4 of them from Maynooth, all 4 from the School of Business. And it's no underestimate to say that the four of them are absolutely fantastic. The four of them are still with us. Two of them are in our Bermuda office. So we thought, okay, have we got lucky, or what was the approach? So for our graduates in 2017, we concentrated not completely on Maynooth, but let's just say we hired 16, and I think 13, and probably 11 from the School of Business. So we're absolutely delighted with them. The quality of graduates that you're turning out there are top class. We think they stand alongside, if not better, certainly as good as anywhere else. We love their attitude and their commitment to improving themselves and to hard work. And we're big fans. So we took on another batch this year. Again, heavily favored to yourselves, and we want to keep that going. So as you mentioned, we have opened a second site. In Ireland. So this is a big problem for all financial services companies in Dublin, is that the sheer demand for office space and talent is driving costs up. So, Google and Facebook and LinkedIn, these guys have great stories, but they're taking up a huge base, which has completely put the market on its head. So it's getting harder to make money in Dublin with rising costs. So we probably towards maybe about 15 months ago started to look at different locations, and we partnered with Enterprise Ireland, and we did a tour of Ireland. So we went, and one of the prerequisites for our visits would be that they would have a university or an IT there. And after it all, we decided on Maynooth for several reasons, but let's be brutally honest. The probably the most important one was the quality of graduates you guys are turning out. So we have 10 people in our office in Maynooth. We want to grow that. We think it'll be 15 by Christmas, and by this time next year we want it to be 30. Of the 10 that we have there, we've hired four graduates this time. So 4 guys that graduated in the summer. And we're delighted with them. 2 just started 2 weeks ago. They're working on our private equity product, which is a new exciting venture for us. We're hugely excited for Maynooth, and we want to continue and grow the partnership that we have with the School of Business. In the summer, Karen, who is the CEO of the business, Karen Malone, and a few of us were out in the college with Enterprise Ireland. We met with the president of the college, Professor Nolan, and we also spent some time with the head of the School of Business, Professor McNamara, and very enlightening, really, really smart, good people that are really engaged in making sure that the Maynooth graduates are suitable for industry, which is exactly what we want to hear.
Brilliant. It's really great to hear that. I completely agree with you with the quality of the graduates and their attitude and their personality. Just good people, opportunity to work on new projects as well in a new company as well. Very exciting. So I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of interest again in applying to Centaur. So just for those guys and for the young women who are going to be graduating this year, looking at job opportunities, planning out their future now. You mentioned, to do a bit of research, look around about reading up about the fund industry in Ireland. What advice specifically would you give them about preparing to apply to Centaur?
Well, it's a good question, and we would be, in our approach. I don't think. We certainly don't have. We have sort of have a template now. For 3 years we've hired graduates, and predominantly from Maynooth. So we know the type of person we want. We know the type of person that will succeed here. Like the students in Maynooth, people of my age. So I'd be very honest. I wouldn't have been anything of the caliber that you guys are turning out now. It was a very different place then. Yeah. And people of my generation talk a lot of rubbish about millennials and snowflakes and all that nonsense, but it's complete rubbish. These kids that are in Maynooth and all the other universities as well, but they work so much harder than my generation ever did. They're so much more clued in, and they're so much better than we were. And it took a while for me to accept that, but that is the reality. This generation are so much better. So from a Centaur point of view, to be brutally honest, they've already made themselves attractive by deciding to go to Maynooth and go to the School of Business. So that gives them an advantage straight away. But I will be out actually on campus in October and November. Dr. O'Connor has interest, I think, on his HR module. So come to those, speak to me afterwards, ask questions, because over the years, the people that we've met when we were out there end up a lot of the times being the people that we hire. But all I would say for advice, obviously look us up, do some research. Even if we're not for you, don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm always happy to take emails. Anybody from Maynooth is good in my book. So if there's any advice they're looking for about different areas to get into, because fund administration isn't for everybody, but we're happy to be a sounding board. We're happy to be a sounding board for any of these guys. We want to see ourselves as partners with Maynooth. So any way we can help. But yeah, just look us up, and if you get the opportunity to attend any of the lectures that I'll be speaking at over the next few weeks, come and have a talk to me afterwards or ask any questions in it. I would encourage people to be aware of, I know, because it is a disconnect, and that a lot of that falls on the Irish funds industry because nobody knows what we do. It's a huge industry with a huge number of people working at it, and we're not selling our story well. Like, everybody knows about the Big Four. Like, every one of your students will know who the Big Four are and what they do. We think we've got better career opportunities, so we need to sell our story better. So that a lot of that resides on us as an industry, and it is something I personally sit on a couple of work groups on the Irish Funds group, which is the Irish Funds is a combination of all the different companies, whether they be lawyers, administrators, banks, custodians that are involved in the industry, and we sit together in different work groups and we talk about what we need to do to push our industry to the next level. And we know that we need to engage better, and we're going to try and do it. But I would encourage your students, John, just to look us up and do a bit of research on the industry. And these are good jobs and good careers are on the doorsteps of your students, whether it be in Dublin or ourselves now in Maynooth.
No, you're working in a fascinating space, and it's an amazing company. And thank you for all your support and continuing to hire our graduates. I couldn't agree more. The stereotypical things that people say about millennials and that. I couldn't agree more with you that is completely incorrect. They're incredibly impressive bunch of kind of hard-working young people with great attitudes, and I don't know how much credit I can take for it, but I know that the School of Business there's a lot of focus on developing character as well as work ethic among students.
I think it's not a coincidence, John. Whatever you are doing in the School of Business, it's producing, and I think character is a hugely important thing. There's a diversity ads, the Maynooth effect, and obviously it's a catchy bit of marketing, but it's actually true. I think there's something, and obviously, as a former alumni, I'm hugely weighted towards Maynooth. But even forgetting that, there's a mindset out there that really impresses me, to be honest. That isn't in other universities. It's there's no sense of entitlement. There's a hunger to improve and progress, and that's exactly what we want at Centaur. Like that if we could bottle that and give it to everybody, that's what matters. As your undergrads graduate and then think about careers, if they can remember that it's all, they have the talent, they have the ability, and they have the attitude, and it's all about hunger and wanting to achieve and push on and do great things in their careers.
Brilliant. No, thank you so much. I'll tweet from my Twitter account and from the School of Business Twitter account the dates when you'll be out. And thank you again for your ongoing support for Maynooth and for our graduates.